What is going on, my crazy 76er fanatics? Thank you for stopping back in for another daily pod with your daily 76er discourse, guys. If you like, comment, or subscribe, guys, drop in and watch a video. Thank you so much for helping us climb that subscription ladder. Each view, each comment, each minute you watch, guys, it all matters, guys. Thank you for helping this channel grow. I truly appreciate it. And us over here at Fan Arch, we truly appreciate it as well. We got to talk about how good Justin Edwards is. The reason this episode is going to start with Justin Edwards is because listening to Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague is high on Justin Edwards. During the pre-draft process for Ace Bailey, he said the Sixers don't need a guy like Ace Bailey because they have a guy like Ace Bailey in the Justin Edwards, which basically means, obviously, they are similar in stature, similar in height, 6'8", 6'9". They have similar wingspan, similar measurements. But do they get buckets at the same clip? Do they have the same potential and the same ceiling? We're going to highlight that, guys. This guy, Justin Edwards, was the very number one ranked player in his class. He did go to Kentucky, a high-ranked university. He did play under Coach Calipari. And if you know Kentucky players, they turn into great NBA players, which is exactly what you kind of saw last season when Justin Edwards was able to take the court and show some of his game that he was able to display. He deserves to be here. He deserves to be in the NBA. How good is he really? Well, in the month of March, you can say he was extraordinary. This is a kid who averaged about 15 points per game in the month of March. He also shot the ball about 37% from three, and that's about taking about 4 to 5 threes per game, making about 2 threes per game. Guys, that's extraordinary for a rookie. And no, even that. That's extraordinary for an undrafted guy, let alone a rookie. Guy went undrafted, rookie season, averaged 15 points per game. Some of the shots he was making, some of the shots he was taking, you could show and you can see that he is going to be a high-impact player on a team where he's given the minutes, given the usage, given the opportunity. But how good is he really? Watching his workouts, guys, again, doing a deep dive on Justin Edwards. Watch some of his Chris Jones workouts. You can go onto YouTube right now because that seems where you already are. Go to Chris Jones. Watch the Justin Edwards tape. He's a really good left-handed scorer. And his biggest attribute is his unorthodox playing style. Everyone knows that as a right-handed player, most of the world is right-hand dominant. It's difficult to guard left-handed players because of the way the lateral quickness you have to move, because of the way you have to switch your hips and switch your brain to, okay, I do this right way, now I have to do this to the left way. These left-handed players get the upper hand on you just because you're not used to playing left foot first. That's one of his best attributes. Watching the Chris Jones workout, when he's on the left side of the court, from the middle of the court to the left side to the corners, he's dominant. That's his bread and butter. And thinking about the NBA, thinking about most players in college and coming into the NBA, that's probably their weakest side guarding on the court. So for Justin Edwards' strong side to be a lot of defenders' weak side, that's one of his biggest and best attributes. Outside of that, he plays off of the cut and off of the catch extremely well. The faster Justin Edwards is able to play, the freer his game is able to be displayed. Justin Edwards is really good when you're not sitting him in the corner, giving him a specific role. Just tell him to go hoop, go get buckets. And being the fact that he's from Philadelphia, playing in Philadelphia, man, oh man, that could just put a battery in his back for him to be even better because he's got his city behind him. He's got his family watching him. And most importantly, he's got a huge door and a huge role ahead of him. Because with Paul George not being able to start training camp and start the season, still rehabbing, and still obviously going to have to ramp up his minutes, maybe starting a minutes restriction, that leaves a lot of opportunity, offensive opportunity for Justin Edwards. If he's able to knock down a three-point shot better than a Kelly Oubre, he'll be playing alongside a Kelly Oubre. Only, and I say only, if he's able to pick up the defensive chops and the defensive stops. Because that's the biggest question you have for a guy like Justin Edwards. Obviously, rookie season, you're not going to be able to navigate through screens. You don't have the familiarity and the comfortability of the defensive schemes of the NBA. But with a year under your belt, Sophomore seasons and junior years in the NBA are exactly when these players take the biggest leap and the biggest jumps to where you can see if they're actually going to have successful careers long term. Offensively, throughout his workouts, throughout what you're hearing from the Rico Hines runs, and from what other players like Tyrese Maxey and PG and Nick Nurse are saying about guys like Justin Edwards, offensively, that's not a problem. Offensively, you're not a concern. It's just about the defense that he can display. How good is he going to be on that end of the ball? Truthfully, guys, we're going to have to wait to see it. We're just going to have to wait to see it. Again, this is a guy who's 6'7", 6'8", with a 6'9" wingspan. I mean, you could hope he can guard 1 through 3, 1 through 4. You can expect him to guard 1 through 3, 1 through 4. He's not necessarily the most physically dominant, only weighing about 205. He's not necessarily the most vertically blessed. Doesn't have the best vertical, but he does have the ability to jiggle and wiggle. He does have the ability to shake and bake, to cross and toss, to put the ball in the hole. I mean, offensively, we know what he's talking about, guys. It's just the team's defensive lineup. Can he put his name on that lineup? Let's look at this team's defenders. We're going to put Quentin Grimes in there as the number 1 team defender at that shooting guard position. You're going to throw Kelly Oubre in there at the power forward position. And then from there, guys, it does get tricky. For me, it does get tricky. I'm struggling throwing a VJ Edgecombe in there. I don't care how high he was drafted, how high he's ranked. Can you really put a rookie in there before seeing the product on the court into your team's all-defensive lineup right now? I can't do it. Truthfully, I'm going to leave VJ out of this all-teams defensive lineup, and I'm going to slide Justin Edwards in there just by default, just by technicality, because I don't think this team has too many defensive stoppers who can also put the ball in the hole and score. So I think we got Quentin Grimes at the 2, Edwards at the 3, Kelly Oubre at the 4, Adem Bona at the 5, and then you're going to put Tyrese Maxey in there at the 1 because he's the best point guard this team has, the best defensive point guard this team has, and you also still need some offensive firepower there. How does that team look? How does that lineup shape up? Think about it, guys. Tyrese Maxey, Quentin Grimes, Justin Edwards, Kelly Oubre, and Adem Bona. Offensively, guys, there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of usage going to be thrown at Justin Edwards, Quentin Grimes. Because obviously Maxey's going to see the double teams, maybe the boxing ones. Maybe Tyrese Maxey is just shadowed by 3 defenders in that lineup. Who knows what teams are going to employ on Tyrese Maxey lineup there. But following that, Quentin Grimes should be able to get a lot of usage off of there. Justin Edwards should be able to get a lot of offensive usage. Do you really want Kelly Oubre to get the offensive touches there? It's going to be Kelly Oubre and Justin Edwards fighting for the offensive touches in many of these Paul George absent lineups. In these Joel Embiid absent lineups. The team's defensive lineup, you're probably going to put Adem Bona over Joel Embiid because of the gambles that a guy like Adem Bona is going to take. Because of the hustle and the energy and the effort on that end of the ball Adem Bona has. Does that lineup scare anyone? Is that lineup any good? Do you trust that lineup not only to get stops, but to also get points on the opposite end? There's a lot of question marks on this team because we have seen a lot of these players play. Quentin Grimes, Justin Edwards. We've seen them play at separate times on the court. We have not seen that lineup. Even though they were all just returning from last season, we haven't seen that lineup. What lineup is going to be the all-defensive lineup? Does Johnny Brome make the all-defensive lineup for the Sixers squad? Does Andre Drummond make the all-defensive lineup? Because if he does, that leaves a lot of high pick-and-roll potential. That leaves a lot of openings and gaps and space for cutters. Does that even help us protect the paint more? I'm just saying, guys, defense is this team's biggest hole. Defense is where this team needs to get control and get a grips on. So I think they may trade for someone. I think this team. Guys, if this team wants to stay high firepower, they should stop messing around and make the trade that we've all been waiting on. Bring Jeremy Grant to Philadelphia. Bring Jeremy Grant to Philadelphia and trade Paul George for Jeremy Grant. That would not only help us fill that potential defensive effort, defensive anchor, but Jeremy Grant's okay catching and shooting. Jeremy Grant doesn't want to put the ball on the ground if he doesn't have to. Jeremy Grant's able to score 20 if he needs to. He's able to sit back and play defense if you want him to. He's also able to rebound. Jeremy Grant can do it all, and it can be the return of a Philadelphia 76er with unfazed unfinished business. This team, if they want to lock up the defense, lock up the small forward position, and secure the power forward position, trading for Jeremy Grant over a guy like Paul George could be the perfect piece for a selfless player, for a cheaper contract option. Of course, you're going to have to attach a few first-round picks to make it happen, some draft capital, hopefully not Jared McCain. You got to keep Cuzzy. You got to keep Cuzzy, but we will keep cooking, guys, with more videos, guys. Did you like? Did you comment? Did you subscribe, guys? I want to highlight some of these comments from our last video. I want to, first off, thank you guys for watching, commenting, dropping in. But what's going on with the Johnny Brome love? W. Canty says, I've been saying this forever. Johnny Brome has a similar skill set to Embiid. I don't think that's true, though. I don't think you can compare any second-round pick without physical professional game tape to one of the greatest big men of all time. I don't think Johnny Brome's skill set is similar to Embiid's. Embiid has a more of a face-up game where Johnny Brome has a comfortable back-to-the-basket game. He's working on his face-up game. He doesn't have the quickness of the first step. He doesn't have a great handle. And Johnny Brome's mid-range isn't as consistent or as efficient as Joel Embiid's. I think defensively, though, Johnny Brome may be a good piece to potentially play on this team. We talked about the defense. We talked about Johnny Brome in some of our previous episodes. But Johnny Brome could be on this all-defensive team that this team needs to see. Brome might give us more minutes than PG. Listen, I'm talking about trading PG for Jeremy Grant, Lottie marketing. If you get rid of Paul George and you get someone younger, hungrier, and someone not proven or not looking for a contract, but looking for a potential championship, like dedicated to a championship, guys, I feel like this team's going to be in better position. Joel Embiid is hungry for a championship. Tyrese Maxey finally wants to win. All these young guys who are getting paid what they're going to be getting paid for seasons on, they're not worried about the money. They're worried about winning. Winning breeds more success. Winning breeds more checks. Everyone knows that, guys. I'm talking about trading Paul George for Jeremy Grant. And Brome, hey, welcome home, Brome. If you're playing more minutes than PG, that could sound good to me. I just want to win. Like every Sixer fan, like every Sixer player, we just want to win, guys. And let's keep on cooking with those comments, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And thanks for stopping in for another.